Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to extract this baby for use in this digital photo template that I've created for you. And let's get started. First, we're going to use something called the background eraser tool. It's where your eraser is. I'm in Photoshop CS3. However, these tools will be available to you in any version that you have. So we're going to go to the background eraser tool, not the normal eraser, the background eraser. Make that brush a little bit smaller. Here's where it gets tricky. We're going to start with discontiguous. The tolerance, we're going to start at about 75%. Make sure that you check protect foreground color, which is up in here. Now, if you see the little plus sign in the middle, what's important is that never touches the color you want to keep. So if we're keeping her skin down here, we're going to have it just outside of that area. We're going to select all. Up in your menu here, select all. You're going to copy, minimize, and then you're going to come to the image such as the teacup. You're going to click on it and you're going to hit paste. And what you're going to do now is you're going to change your blending mode to multiply, and we're going to hit transform. I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts, so transform is in your edit menu. You're going to hold down the shift key while you drag and drop, otherwise you can disfigure it. Holding down the shift key, get it to the approximate place that you think it looks good, whereas if she really were sitting in the teacup, how she would look. Okay, I think that looks pretty appropriate there. I'm going to change my blending mode back to normal. That just gives me a better perspective of what I can and can't see. Now, if you notice in the layers palette, she is between two layers. I have included for your convenience an overlay that puts her bottom portion underneath the edge of the teacup for you. There are other methods. You don't have to use this one, which I will show at the end of this video, but this is if you only want to cut out the outer edges instead of the bottom as well. It just makes it more convenient for you. So if the photo was on top, that's where she would be. She needs to be between that layer. This is where our background eraser tool now comes in handy. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's color pick the spot we want to keep. Okay. Discontiguous, tolerance of 75%, and protect the foreground color. Very important step here. This may look different depending on which version of Photoshop you're in, but you need to find your history palette. You should be able to search for it if it's not in the same area on your version of Photoshop. However, it's easy to find. It's near your actions and your history. You have a little camera here. Click the camera and you get a snapshot of your picture. Click that. What that does is that gives us a history to come back to that our paintbrush will allow us to paint back in for little tiny mistakes that you may miss. That's very important. Okay, so we have the snapshot. Now we'll come to the history eraser tool. We've picked the skin tone. Discontiguous, 75%, and we start erasing. And remember, do not let the plus sign touch what you want to keep. See what would happen if I touched? Okay, so we want to keep it on the outside of that. So just click once and hold. No, that's not working. Color pick again and erase. See how nice that is? When it stops working, when the transition stops working, that's when you need to color pick again. But we're having great luck with this. Look at how nice that transition, how smooth and natural it's looking. Beautiful. A little bit more there. Reduce the brush size. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, your brush needs to be very soft. Hardness all the way down to 0, 1% in that range so that you have the smoothest transitions as possible for this type of extraction. And even smaller when you're gutting around here. Alrighty. Don't worry about the stuff on the edges. Our regular eraser tool will get rid of that. Take a good look. I think all around it looks pretty good, except this right here is a little too much for me. I'm going to take my regular eraser tool and get rid of that. Same place, eraser tool, Make sure your brush is extremely soft. And I'm just going to freehand it and see how it comes out. This is less accurate than using the marquee tool or the magnetic lasso, but it gives, it's hard to say. It's more accurate, at the same time it's not as accurate, but it gives a more natural feathered fantasy type look to it. It looks more realistic. It doesn't look cut out. It looks more realistic in the long run. All right. And let's do step back, step back, step back. I don't know. Maybe I'll just slightly curve that off a little bit. And it helps that the background is fairly light as well as her dress. So that helps too. So keep that in mind when you're shooting. Now, you can see a little portion here of the dress being see-through from using the background eraser tool. That's where our history comes into play. Our history tool, which the keyboard shortcut is Y, make that large, make sure that it's a soft brush, it is, and paint it back. See how wonderful that is? You can paint back anything you want that might have been erased by accident that you didn't like. Back to our normal eraser, not our background, our normal eraser. Now this one you want to be a little bit harder. The softer it is, the more feathering, and you don't want any feathering. So we're getting rid of all the extra white that we don't want from her. And there you have it. She looks adorable. Let's go to match color. You may not have this in Photoshop Elements, but if you do have CS3 or even 2 or 4, you should have that. And what match color will do will allow you to bump up your saturation a little bit more. And it's over here. It's hiding from me because I changed my screen size. This is a great option. Rather than just boosting your saturation, this has a little bit of a different algorithm for doing that. Look how much more punch she has, just like the teacup. And luminance, it's just like using your levels, except it gives a different type of brightness to it. All tools for the toolbox. Now, one thing we need to get into is saving. You would save this as a layered file, but you would also save it as a JPEG for printing, for uploading. Anything you're going to do to have your uploaded image printed, you need to do JPEG. As well as TIFF, so that you can always throw her in another project. If you wanted to make 20 different teacup images to sell to your client, you wouldn't want to redo the work over and over again. So always save, and save also as a JPEG. Thank you for watching my tutorials. Hopefully this has helped your creativity and helped you use my products and other products that you may come in contact with. If you need ideas, feel free to go to my website, adorableshots.com. You can also look for more tutorials and more digital products from me at creativephotographybackgrounds.com. Thank you.